Okay. So you have your SQL script in your S3 bucket too, right? The SQL script we've migrated for the other projects.
Yes, it should still be there.
Okay.
I think this is it. I can't remember which one is it. Is it Red Zone?
Which project are you trying to deploy on the EKS? I think I know it's the range zone one we are deploying. So this range zone one, you already deployed it using ECS, right?
Yes, I think so.
You've
Yeah.
you've you've completed this project. The reason why I'm asking is so that we are sure that your image works. So you've deployed this range zone project on EKS before.
You know what? I have not gone back to this for a while. Um, I don't wanna. Can we? Are you free tomorrow?
Um, Tomorrow is Monday. Is there a reason why you want to move it to tomorrow?
It's just that I have not gone back to this, so I don't want to be lost in. So there's so many stuff that I have not. I can't remember
Okay,
where. So I mean, if we can do it without any issue, because you're asking me questions and I cannot even remember,
it's fine. It's
when
fine.
last I did it.
Yeah. So I think we should still try
Surprise.
it. We should
Okay.
still try it, right? Then if whatever we run into, then we can address it. So, but the question I'm asking you
Hmm.
for what we are doing today, um, we will be using Terraform. So there isn't really anything I want you to have done before
Okay.
prior to this meeting,
Okay.
right? Um, so we'll do the deployment with Terraform. But the only thing, and when we do the deployment with Terraform, whatever dependencies the Terraform needs, I will show you where to set it up, like the secret you just did. The only
Okay.
thing I was asking is, have you completed the ECS project before?
Let me see. I
Look,
believe so.
yeah, because the only reason is so because the image that you have there is the image we will use. But even if you haven't completed before, we have there's other ways we can there's a workaround. We can build your image again. We can build another image and test it. So
Yes, I've completed that ECS project. There is a project with with Docker, right?
yes, with the Docker one, exactly.
Yes. Yeah, I
Okay.
completed that.
And you saw your application.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Yeah. So that means that your image is working. So that's just the only thing I wanted to know. Okay. Um. All right. I just want to. So this is that, and EKS result. You won't need this, but I just will leave it there for you. Um, me. So I'm going to remove this. I'm going to comment this out. I'll probably just even remove this because this is the deployment part, and this part is the only one you would deploy.
Yeah.
This will create your EKS cluster and your worker node. This will bring you back to where you were the first time.
Okay.
Then once that is done, then we have a script in here you can run that would do the deployment of your manifest and install the whatever dependencies it needs. So that's the idea I have. When I had it up to this, there was a way I had it before it worked,
Hmm.
but then I started turning it into like a Terraform module, and I'll explain it to you once we start running it. But since I started turning it into like a Terraform module that has the deployment.
Hmm.
It has for example, if you look in here, right, not here, in this infrastructure, I have EKS cluster and I have EKS resource. the issue I was running into when I have all this, the so this EKS resource, this is the deployment part when we deploy our manifest files and we install whatever the Kubernetes part, right?
Yeah.
When I had this files as part of the cluster, I was running into issue because in order to run some of the stuff here, it needs information from the cluster. And if the cluster is not created, then this would run into issue, right? So what
Okay.
I did is I have a directory here for the cluster. So the module will call this directory and just create the cluster. And when the cluster is available, then we'll now do the deployment,
Okay.
right? So, but you won't have to worry about this part today because I'm still working on putting everything in Terraform. But when we deploy the cluster in the node, we will just run the script. So I have a script. I have a script here. We'll
Okay.
just run the deployment script. This is how I have it in the project. So we'll just run the deployment script that would install everything. And if everything works the way it's supposed to work, we should see the application.
Okay.
All right.
And that's it should have taken you a long time for you to put all this the terraforming modules and all that. That's something I want to learn, you know.
Yeah, you'll learn it. You'll learn it. Yeah, it took me, I've been working on, I don't know exactly how much time I've spent on it.
Yes.
It's not really that long because I work on it in between taking care of my son.
Okay.
Usually at night when he's sleeping, then I'll just open my laptop and I'll continue working on it. So I'll probably say I've spent 5, 6 hours on it, but it's on and off. If I really sit down, it's something I can knock out in a day. But because I've just been working on it on and off. So all
Mm.
right.
Okay.
So maybe not to confuse you,
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about deleting this part, this EKS resource. So let me just remove it from your stuff. Right? And so yeah, you have your module. Your module will call this. This will create the EKS cluster and the node. Then after that, we just have to run the script, which is here to um deploy the application on the EKS cluster. Okay. I'll send this file to you now. Let me zip it. So have you done any of the Terraform project or you still working on the one the management
I'm
console projects?
I'm still working on that dynamic website using with Terraform, but
Oh, okay.
I went ahead and I decided to go and refresh my knowledge on Terraform from YouTube videos.
Okay.
So once I come in, I'm not that confused. I have a better knowledge.
Sure.
So I really love what you did there, how you're able to do. The only thing I can do right now with Terraform is creating a VPC and instance for my own remote environment. I
Okay.
really want to learn how to. I'm really still to learn about the how to pass. How do you say pass your passwords in it?
Mm-hmm.
Um, put them like in environment variables, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want to learn how it works because I don't really know.
Okay. And that is included in this Terraform code I'm sending to you. Then I can show you everything.
All right, I have
So
it open.
all right. Let
Mhm.
me stop sharing my screen.
Okay. Mm. Can you see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I
All
think
right.
I'm gonna open this new.
So move that unzip version into like wherever you want to move it to on your computer. Now open it in Visual Studio Code.
What was the name again?
Dynamic EKS.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, perfect. So in the infrastructure, the module is pretty much set.
Okay.
There isn't anything we have to change in the infrastructure part, because everything is using variables. So
Okay.
there is nothing in there that is hard coded. So um in that main.tf, right?
Mm-hmm.
That one. Okay. So you see at the top where that the top part is where that's the only part where you have to update. So there you will update
Account ID.
your account ID. Yeah. Yeah, you update your region. Then the name of the application, the project name is just whatever you want to call it, right? The line
Okay.
5, right? The project we are deploying. You said it's the rent zone one we are doing, right? So just call that one rent zone then. If
Okay.
that's yeah, rent zone, just call it rent zone.
The environment or
The
what
project name.
project name? Okay.
Yeah. All right. And the environment is dev. We just leave it as dev.
Okay.
Then project directory. So you see the project directory is referring to that you see on the left side where we have the infrastructure and next app,
Okay. I see
right?
it right
That
here.
is the directory your project is in, right?
Okay.
So you can change that to rent zone app, right? So but you have to rename the directory to the then you just change that to it.
So rename this first, right?
Yeah, rename that rent zone app. Then you can just do the same thing there. So there's a code in when we are doing our deployment, it goes to, I think it is when we are migrating our data,
Mm-hmm.
it needs to go into that directory to find our migrate script. So that's
Okay.
why I have that one there. And the
Secret
secret
name.
name will be the name of your secret.
I haven't finished yet.
Okay,
I
yeah,
left here.
just finish it. So
For the registry, I went ahead and copied the
that would
repository.
be just the first part of you see where you have your yeah, so that would be your name, your number, account ID up to the .com.
Okay, that's what you said.
Yeah, because then that one is specific to the repository you are in.
Okay,
Okay,
next.
next, yeah. And I called my app secret, so you can, if you want to use the same name, you can use it.
I'll leave it like that.
Yeah,
Description optional. Next.
and next.
Good.
No,
Thank
we don't automatic rotation, no.
you.
And next.
Then review.
Yeah, and stop. So you see, after you create a secret,
Mm-hmm.
right? In the secret ARN, you will see right there, right? You see
Mm-hmm.
at the end, you have your secret name and that suffix thing, suffix number after it, right?
Yeah.
That is what line 9 is referring to.
Okay.
So it would just be the GY yeah part. Yeah.
And when you ever, I just want to know when you, if I have to do this with a different application, I have to do it this way, right?
Yes. So if
Okay.
you let's say you want to deploy a different application, all these values and the reason why I did it this way is because, right? So when you
Yeah.
are updating the information, everything is there, or the things you need to change is there. So you don't really have to do too much, right? So let's say you're using a
Yes.
different application now. The only thing I'll change here is the project name
Okay.
and the application directory. Because obviously, if you are, let's say the next application you are doing is Nest, right? You will change your directory there to Nest app, right? Then you just update it in online 7. You understand?
Yes, I understand what you're saying.
You understand what I mean, right? So
Yes.
yeah. So all the values, most of these values will be the same from application to application. But the only thing that will be different is the name of the application, right? So that's the
Okay.
only thing you will change. Yeah. But because you'll be using the same secret. So like I said, you can use the same secret for all your projects. You don't have to delete it. Um, so you see the module, right? On line 13, we have module EKS cluster, right?
Yes.
And the source is pointing to, if you look on the left side, right? So when this is how you see those two dots you see there, this is how it works. When you run Terraform apply, right? Terraform
Yes.
apply will be running in the rent zone app directory.
Okay.
You see the rent zone app directory on the left side, right?
Yeah, I
Right,
see it.
right. But you want it to go get the module you want to run, the resources you want to run. So
Okay.
that two dot means that it is going to go
So,
up one directory,
so
right?
it's gonna go back here.
Exactly. So it's gonna
Okay.
go out of that directory, then go
Mhm.
into the infrastructure, and that is where it will find
Okay,
all the
cluster.
all. No. So the EKS cluster is not referring to that. So the EKS cluster is referring to the EKS cluster over there. It's because you have one directory there. That's why you can see it. So
Okay.
drag your thing to the right a little bit. Right. Yeah, you don't have to drag it that far, just so you can see up to that right there. Yeah. So the EKS cluster is referring to that EKS cluster directory,
I
the
see.
one at the top. Yeah. So it's saying go into the infrastructure EKS cluster directory, you'll find all my modules there. So in this case, the way we have this, it is referencing all those Terraform files, not just one. Anything that is in that directory, that is what it's referencing.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So here, um, the account ID, region, project name, and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So in Terraform module, when you point Terraform module to a specific in a directory, the way we are pointing it to that EKS directory, and we are saying our module is there, right?
Yeah.
So right under that source, everything you see there, that is whatever the module you are pointing to, whatever is listed as variables there.
Mm-hmm.
So the module we are pointing to, whatever is listed in the variables file. So you see in that directory, there's a variables file.
Variable.
Yeah, it's down. So keep going down.
Right, yeah, I see
Right
it.
there. Right.
Okay.
So whatever is listed as variables, that is what you put under that source. That is
Okay.
exactly how modules work. So always remember that when you are referencing a module, right?
Yeah.
The all the arguments you are saying that we listed under the source. So you can take that variable at the top, right? The one you currently have open, click and hold it and drag it to the right side of your screen. So that way you have like two split screen. Yeah, the way you have it, bring it down a little bit. There you go. And drop it there. Right. Close your Explorer here so your screen is wider. So you see the not there, not there. In Visual Studio Code, you see that file symbol under the above the search.
Right here.
Bring your mouse down. Yeah, where you
Down.
were right now, move it to the left, left, down. That one. Yeah, that's the Explorer. So if you close it, it'll just kind of like make your screen big, right? So you can see our source right on line 13. So
Okay.
if you look in the variables file, you'll see that every single variables there is what we have to add there.
Okay.
Because you are calling the module, right? You have to now give it the value of those variables. So if you look on line 2, on the variables, we have account ID, line 17, account ID. Line 7, region, line 18, region. So it's pretty much everything that is listed in the variable, that's what we put here. Then we now put the actual value we want it to be.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So even if you scroll all the way down in that variables, you'll see that it's pretty much everything. Because if you don't account for it, when you run your module, it's going to ask you that you're missing something. So if you keep scrolling all the way down, you can see the last one is EC2 instance type, and you can see that's what we have there.
Okay.
So that's really how module works with this, right? So for the value, on the left side, you can close that variables file now. I mean, I just wanted to show you that. So,
Okay.
and maybe you can open that, right? So scroll up. Um, the local, you see at the top, we have local, and we now give it the account ID. So it's the same as the account ID you see on 17, region you see on line 18, project name, environment, project directory, right? It's the same thing. The
Yes.
reason why we have it as locals up there is because these values, the values of the account ID region, as we continue to build our module, we will be referencing them in multiple places. So instead of typing account ID, for example, let's say on line 17, you can type account ID and put your account ID there, right? The one you see, your 533, you can say account ID equals 5332671, right? You can put it on line 17 and it will work, right? You understand what I mean, right? You can add it there, but I don't want you to change it, but I'm just saying that if you add that account ID on line 3, the value of the account ID on line 17, it will work, right?
So basically, you just put account ID here, but it pulls it from up here. Is that what?
Exactly,
So
exactly.
this whole block right here basically has all the passwords and everything that you need to create this one's. I think this one's right here.
Exactly. So
Okay,
we
that makes sense.
listed those ones up there.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime we need account ID value, it will just go and pull it from the local, exactly like you said. The reason why we do that is, so let's say you are creating another module on line 49, and
Okay.
that module also needs account ID, right?
Okay.
Instead of you add coding 55533 on line 17, then you have to do it again on line 49, right?
You just call
You'll
this one.
just be calling the local,
That
the
makes sense.
account ID. So that's the purpose of local variables. It allows you to call the same thing multiple times. So you don't have to have 5332 in multiple places. Because what if your account changed? Then you have to go into like 10 different places and go and change it.
That's
But
true.
but let's say your account changed and you are using the local, you only have to go change it up there, and everywhere you are referencing it would just be changed as well. So that's what
Okay.
local is used for. So the second part, 23 to 30, that's our VPC CIDR block. So that is the variable, I mean, the CIDR block we want to use for our VPC. So that
Okay.
one is just the same one we've been using for our project, right?
All right. All right.
So our secret name and secret suffix, because again, this value will be referencing it multiple times. In this module, we only have one module here, but in the one I was working on, I need to reference it multiple times.
Okay.
As you build this module, when you do the deployment, you need to reference it multiple times. So that's why I also included that as part of the local, so that we will pull it from there, from the local. So
Okay.
anytime you're working on your building your module, if you see that the same value is appearing in two places, then that's when to put it in local,
Okay.
because you don't want to hard code the same thing in multiple places in your module. It's not a good practice. All right.
Question.
So
Quick
yes,
question.
go ahead.
So when you're creating this VPC and subnets, I don't see a route table. So how would you know I know when you create a subnet, it automatically puts it into a private route table. So how would you do that in a public route table now? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. So you see, this module, right? We said when we run this module, right?
Yeah.
We are telling it go into the infrastructure, EKS cluster. You'll find our modules there, right?
Okay.
So when we run this and this goes into the infrastructure EKS cluster, it will find the VPC configuration in the VPC file. So if you go in that on the left side, click on the VPC
VPC.tf.
file, that
Okay.
is where we have the actual configuration.
Okay.
You understand? That's where
Nice.
you can see there we created our public subnet. We added to the we create our route table. We add our route to it, and we so if you what you were asking me about is on line 48,
Okay.
right? See, you
I
see
see
that?
it. I see it. I
Yeah.
see it.
So
Nice.
the point of Terraform module is you see this VPC code we wrote, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you need to create 10 different VPCs, right?
Yeah.
You can have this code in 10 different folders for the different application, for the different 10 application. And this VPC configuration file will create it, right? But the issue is that, let's say you want to create 50 VPC. Are you going to keep copying all this code in 50 different places, right?
Yeah. That would be a lot.
It'll be a lot, exactly. So that's when Terraform module comes in. So Terraform module allows us to create one VPC configuration with all the things we want to do, create our VPC subnet, route table, everything, and we'll put it in one location. Then our module is calling it right in the main.tf one, the one you have open um, up there. So yeah, that one, right? Then our module is calling the directory where we store that VPC,
Okay.
right? That is where you see on line 14, we have infrastructure EKS cluster. All right. So we are telling it go into that directory, and that's where our module is. Do you have any questions so far?
So far so good. I pretty much understand how
Okay.
it works.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
when it comes to that environment variables, I think this is where it is. Oh no.
Exactly. In that
Okay.
one. Exactly. So
Far secret.
when you work on the Terraform module, you will get a better understanding.
Okay.
So with this, the way I did it like this, the directory that I'm pointing it to, any Terraform file that is in that directory, it is going to run all of it,
Okay.
right? So let's say I want to, when you work on the module, you will see there are other ways you can build your module, right? But for this project, I want to build it specifically like this. I want the module we are pointing to build our VPC, our endpoint, our EKS cluster, the worker node. So I wanted to build everything. So that's why I've include all the files for those resources in the same directory.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfectly sense.
Okay, cool. All right, so go back to that main.tf. All right, so there, you're good there. Multi on line 37 to 40, that is the RDS config, the variables that was listed in the RDS. So you don't need to change anything there except for if you want your instance name to be your DB instance identifier to be something else, you can change, but I'll say leave it.
Yeah, I think on the the RDS website, there is something different there. It's not the same as um so it gives you an option. What So all this is different from they're not that they're a little bit similar to what you're saying, but
Mm-hmm.
I believe that there's one that I had a lot of trouble. Either it was the Kubernetes services that was completely different,
I think
and
it's
then
the Kubernetes one. So
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going to update that project. But AWS just recently just changed the
the
interface.
platform. Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of for the lot of the services is still kind of it's still the same. They just kind of change something. But the Kubernetes one might be different. Dylan completed it, he said it's different. So I'll
Yeah.
go back and redo the Kubernetes one so it is identical. Right, but the database should be the same. So on line 30, that's just referring to the instance identifier name, which is whatever you want to call it. So
Okay.
so I'll leave it as that. You don't have to change it.
Likewise.
So line 43 is referring to your IP address because when you create your cluster and you start running your Kubernetes commands um, against your cluster,
Hmm.
you need to allow your IP address to be able to execute it. So you can try to pretend as if okay, you already know how you do it. Yeah, you create a security group and you just say my IP down there. Yeah, just change that to my IP and that should give you your IP.
Oh boy.
That's fine. Just bring that back up. Okay. And the other thing is uh for the EC2 instance, we will use to migrate our data, right? Because part of
Okay.
what this is gonna do is it is going to create an EC2 instance.
Hmm.
Then that EC2 instance is what is going to do the migration of your SQL script into your RDS database, right?
So it is everything is here.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good. Like you don't have to do it. You know how I follow your steps on the video,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, I keep asking myself, is there a way we can condense all of this in one scripting or like Terraform and do it? And I'm happy that you did it this way because
Yeah.
it's really awesome.
Yeah, thanks. So I when I should walk you guys through the management console first, is because I want you guys to really understand how it works
Right,
manually. Like
right.
get your hands dirty first. Then once you've done that, then you can do the scripting part to do everything. From what I always say, from my understanding, you can't go straight to Terraform if you don't understand what you are trying to build. So you need to first understand the process, then when you go and try to automate it with Terraform, it makes much more sense.
Okay,
So that's why if you're still on the management console part, I want you guys to be there. Then once you've got the experience there, then you'll go to the Terraform part, right?
nice,
So
nice.
line 46, I noticed you are using a different region, and when you are launching EC2, the AMI is different from region to region. So you
True,
have to
true.
update your AMI there.
AC2 AMI is region specific.
Mhm.
I think I'll go here. What
So go to so go back up. Um, you're already in your region, right? So
yes,
click on that. So just you see where you have the Amazon Linux 2023, right?
yes,
The
yes.
AMI is there, right
This
there.
one right here.
Yeah, so you select 2020 Linux 2023 right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then see down there, it is listing the AMI ID on the right under that section. So select that,
Okay.
then right under it, move your mouse down.
Down. All
So
right. Here. Is this?
information, the AMI information is there. So you see where it says AMI ID.
I see it right here.
Yeah.
So for this AMI, I know the 64-bit times x86 is for Windows, right? And then the ARM is for Mac. Does that matter?
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It will
Because
run because the EC2 is gonna be in AWS environment. So
okay.
so
Oh, I see. I see.
yeah.
Because I was trying to build a VPC and I took the wrong AMI and you kept giving me issues because I was using my computer. I wasn't using a server, so it gave me a lot of issues and
Yeah.
I see
So,
why.
but this one shouldn't give you any issue because
Okay.
when you that's what AWS has designated as the Linux 2023 AMI. So it won't give
Okay.
you any issue at all. Okay. And I think that's all we need to change in on this file to build
Okay.
our cluster. But there's one thing I want you to review here, that migrate script,
Okay. Let's get on.
right?
I
So
need to
here
change this one.
you need to change that URI to the URI of your SQL script. So select your SQL script selected there. Yeah. Then you'll see the S3 URI over there. Just copy and replace that. Everything after the equal sign. Right. So the rest of the stuff here, we really don't have to change anything because it is pulling. It will pull your RDS endpoint,
Yeah.
RDS DB name,
Hmm.
username, password from your Terraform. So when your Terraform creates your RDS, it will pull those values from that RDS.
Okay, the line 29. What's this? I know the shutdown means you're deleting the instance, right?
Yes.
And then
So
I've
yeah,
never seen the H plus H. Is that the chill mode? Are you giving permission?
after 7 minutes. So
Oh,
what that
okay.
means, you see the comment I have there. So it will shut
Oh, I
down
see. I see.
after 7 minutes. The reason why is because when we create our EC2 instance, we launch our EC2 instance, and our EC2 instance is going to run this script
Mm-hmm.
to migrate our data. We don't want to shut it down immediately because the script may still be running,
Yeah.
right? So we want to wait for about 7 minutes. That's more than enough time for this script to run.
Okay.
Then after waiting 7 minutes, we will now shut it down. So that's what that is. So that
That makes
command
sense.
will just wait for 7 minutes. Then after that, it will execute. Yeah.
Okay.
Um. So another thing I want you to look into is that local. Look into that. Not local, but I think I called it the EC2 profile role. Okay, I just want to make sure there's nothing here. So here we are just creating a role. You know how if our EC2 needs to download something from S3, we need to
Yes.
create a role with S3 permission and attach it to the EC2. That is what this is doing.
Okay.
So yeah, there's nothing here you need to change. Um,
Where do you have your access key and a separate access key? Because how would it
okay,
have
yeah,
instance to it?
yeah, I was thinking. So that would be in the project. So you say in the module we have up there where you have that EKS cluster, that's your module. But your project is the directory where you called it rent zone app,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So in that directory, it will be in your provider. So first, let's look at our providers file, right?
Okay.
So in this providers file, remove line 15 to 39. You don't need it for now. Remove that.
15 to 39.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, remove.
basically everything. Okay.
Yeah, remove that. That was from when I was working on the Kubernetes deployment. Yeah, so remove it. Um, so on my computer, I configured my profile, the what you just asked,
Mm-hmm.
and I called it Cloud Project, right?
Okay.
So I'm not sure what profile you've configured on your computer. Um,
Oh,
so whatever profile you've configured on your computer, change it to that, or you can configure another one, call it Cloud Project. How but it's because I'm also live streaming it. You can stop sharing
okay.
and check what profile. You know where to go get your secret thing you've configured on your computer, right?
Oh, yes, I do.
In your home directory, right?
Yes.
So take a screenshot of it, send it to me, and I'll tell you what you'll have so I can tell you what to change that to.
Remind me again. That,
So when you click on the C drive, right?
yes, users.
Users, then
Mm-hmm.
select whatever your name is on your
Mm-hmm.
computer.
I'm there
Then
now.
in there, look for the .aws folder.
Okay, that's where I was just confused. And then
Then
credentials or config.
show me the credentials because it will have everything. It will have all the information I need. So just take a screenshot. Don't share. Don't share.
Okay, okay. Let
So
me.
just stop sharing and open that credentials one. Just take a screenshot and send it to me on Slack. So that way I'll look at it and I'll tell you what you already have configured.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, because if we expose it, then you'll just have to recreate that
Everything
access key again at the end. So I don't
exactly.
want you to do that. Okay. So you have a profile you configured that you call open,
Yes,
and you have one that you configure Toby one, then you have one that you configure Terraform user.
yes,
Then you have the default one, right?
yes.
So which one of those have you recently used that you know your access key? You know what? Let me take a screenshot of it. We can test it now. I know how you can test it. Let me just, no, I don't need to take a screenshot because you already sent to me. So make sure you've closed that file and you can share your screen back.
Okay, closed it. Let me share.
Okay. All right. Which one did you remember last when you did any type of running, um,
I
anything
think
that you used?
I think it was the Terraform. Let me see.
The Terraform one. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah. Okay. Cool. Do AWS S3 LS. We'll just try to see if we can list your S3 bucket. S3 LS. No, but see it worked, but this is using the default one because you have a default one there,
Okay.
right? That one still works. So that means the access key is there. So let's try the Terraform user one. So do that AWS S3 LS, but at the end you put dash dash profile. Then you now specify the profile name. You have a typo. You have SE.
Thank you.
Mhm. Dash dash profile space, then list the profile name. So that's how you can reference different keys you've configured on your computer. See, that one works too,
Okay,
right?
so it's the same. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So you can use either the default one or you can use. So just change line. So scroll up. Yeah. So you can change your line to Terraform user because since you have a profile for that and that works. Okay, perfect. You can remove 15, unless if you want to type in notes there or something.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Um, then on your backend, we need to change your backend too. So go to the backend, right? So here I have a bucket in my account that I'm using to store my state file,
Okay.
right? So here, I'm sure you have it because you said you've done the Terraform project before, right?
No, I was
From
about
me, have you done it from me or you did it from somebody else? So
I
I don't know if you have DynamoDB configured. I think
DynamoDB. No.
you've done the Terraform project here, so you probably have configured some of this stuff. So let's just test it. If not, we would fix it. So on line 4, that would be an S3 bucket where you want to store your state file.
Okay.
So go in your S3. Um,
Can you
uh,
see my screen?
yes, I can see. So you see the one you called open Terraform remote state. I think that's the one you are using to store your state file. So copy that. copy that bucket name. So the on line 5, what that is referring to is when Terraform is storing your state file,
Mm-hmm.
whatever name you've given that key, that's what it's going to store the file as. So on line 5, when you are seeing nest EKS, what that means is that in this remote state bucket, it is going to create a folder in there called nest EKS. And in that folder, it is going to store the state file that is going to call terraform.tf state. You understand?
Yes.
So for this project, since it's red zone, you can just call it red zone EKS, right?
Oh yeah. Okay.
So that means when we run Terraform, it is going to create a folder called red zone EKS in
Yes.
this S3 bucket. Then in that folder, it is going to store your Terraform state. So there you change your region, and the DynamoDB part stays the same. I'm assuming you've already created the DynamoDB because I see that you've done a little bit of Terraform configuration. So maybe when yeah, it's DynamoDB. You're on RDS.
I think I did.
I'm sure you did. It looks like you did, but let's see.
Uh,
So go to tables over there. Yep, you have it. Cool. So you see that name of that table,
yeah,
Terraform state lock. That's
yes.
what we have on line 7.
Okay, it's the same thing. Okay.
Yeah, because it's in that table we want to use to lock our Terraform state.
You don't get charged for this, right?
No, no, you don't get charged. You can all this your S things like your S3, um, your DynamoDB, those stuff, you are storing so little stuff in there that the charge is nothing. You don't
Okay.
you won't see any charge on it. So once you've configured this, I have the state thing that I've configured from 4 or 5 years ago in my account that I use all the time. So don't delete it. Okay. So I think we have everything we need to run. Oh, okay. The last thing we need to do is your SQL script.
Or is it?
So go in that migrate.
Okay, there you go.
So we've already updated, right?
Yes, we did.
So we need to
The
make sure, okay, you've already your script is already in the S3 bucket and you've added. So I think we're good. So now you can run Terraform init.
initialize
So
it.
you have to open your directory, your terminal into your rent zone app because that's where the project you want to run is. You understand? So currently right now, this terminal you have open is in the dynamic EKS
Okay. I see what you're
directory.
saying.
So you that's the wrong one. So you can close it, close this terminal.
Close this one.
No, the terminal you have open. Not the Visual Studio, that terminal,
Okay.
right? So the easiest way to open a terminal into the directory you want to open it is you can do that. Yeah. Right
Okay.
click on the folder and open it into that. Yeah, cool. So now do Terraform init.
Nice.
Okay. Then now do Terraform apply. Hold on.
You don't use
I think
Terraform.
you actually before you do Terraform apply, I think that auto thing changed something in your code.
Oh no. Let me
So just in there, go back in that file, so
okay.
click on that file, and just press Control Z, Control Z to undo. There you go. So when you work on these things, you have to be very careful because sometimes it just would randomly just change things like that, and you
Okay.
won't know. Okay, now run Terraform apply.
You don't use Terraform validate?
No, because I don't know. I'm just always used to using Terraform in the Terraform apply. Right. Oh, I think we're missing one thing. Okay.
Invalid path.
I see. Oh, okay. I see what it is. So remember we changed and Another thing I can do is I can add variable, make it variable so that way we don't have to hard code it. You see in our go into the module, and I think that's what I would do actually. I have to do it because right now I'm still working on one project and I haven't fixed it because I'm trying to test it for one project. Then after that, I'll fix it. You see how in my user data, I'm pointing it to the next app? That is
Yes.
referring to your project directory, but we changed the project directory to
So rent
rent
zone
zone
app.
app. Yeah. But eventually I'm going to add that as a variable. So we won't have to, um, we won't have to, you know what? We can even do that now. Um, let me see. Um, so just do there in, you see where we have the rent zone app. Let's try it. In there, do the dollar sign, remove the rent zone app. In that, where you just change it. Yeah, remove that
Remove this.
rent zone app. Remove the whole entire thing.
Okay.
And now do dollar sign,
Okay.
curly bracket,
Curly brackets.
then in it, in go back in that bracket and no, in that bracket, sorry, remove
Okay.
that and type var dot project directory.
Like this.
Yeah. Remember, because we have a variable. So if you
Hmm.
go in your main.tf, right? Go in your main.tf.
Okay.
So if you scroll up to that locals,
Up
see
right here.
we have a project directory which is that, right?
Yes.
So by changing it, we're just saying that for that project directory, use whatever value we have there.
You're
So
calling
you
this one.
see, exactly. See, when I was doing one project and I had coded it,
Hmm.
if I'm working on a different project and I don't remember to change it, then we run into issues. But that's one of the reasons why we want to make it dynamic a little bit. Okay. So do Terraform init again.
Okay.
And it's okay. It still work. It still pull it. All right. Now, yes. So this will create your VPC or your security groups, your role IAM role. It is going to migrate, create the RDS, migrate the SQL script into the RDS. It is going to create your EKS cluster and worker node. So that was where you got to when you were doing it manually. So after that,
It's manual activity.
we can run your deployment script. We can run the deployment script I created, and hopefully everything should work.
Okay. What's in here?
Yeah, so the deployment script is in there, right? So, um, but I need to review it first, right?
Okay.
So, um, the cluster name, right? That
Hmm.
will be the name of your EKS cluster. Right. So let your deployment finish running, then we'll tackle this. It's probably gonna take a while, right? But on maybe on the right side, you can AKS cluster. So it's creating your AKS cluster. So on the right side, do you see how you split your screen? You can kind of like do it the way you had it before. So that way we can look in the console on the right side and see the resources being created. Then we can still kind of like work with this script now. Yeah. So go to um, EKS. So you can see your cluster is there. So in this script, you can drag the terminal down, but don't close it. Drag it down a little bit, but don't close it. Okay, that's fine. All right. So your cluster name will be the name of your cluster.
You want to change the namespace?
Okay. So the secret will be your so we need to so here you need to have the secret already created in your console. So go to IAM. Let's see if you have the secret already. I'm sure you probably created it from the other one. Okay. So policies, look for, is that all the policy? No, range zone secret policy. I think it's that one. First one. So select that one. Let me see what is in it. Right. Uh no, so no, go back to that. Just yeah, go click back and select the policies and type whatever you type there to bring it back out. Right. Right, just click on the plus next to it. So you see how that one is referencing get secret, yeah, that's what we want. But you see how on line 11 is referencing the old secret you have, and that we've changed it. Since you just created a new secret, that secret is different, right? So
Yeah.
just edit it, click edit over there, and so go and copy the ARN of your new secret and replace line 11 with your ARN. Okay.
Save.
Then next down there and save changes. All right. So that secret name that you call range zone secret policy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you put on line 10.
Okay. Why does it?
It's just the way it's putting on a new line. So just press backspace there. Yeah. So namespace is whatever we want to call the namespace. So you can call it um range zone app.
Okay.
All right.
Change
So your
this.
account ID, right? Line 14 is the deployment script needs to create a service account, right? So that we are giving it a service account name, right? So
Okay.
service account can be anything you want to call it. So just call it Rent Zone App Service Account. Right. So line 15, 16, 17,
Mm-hmm.
18,
Okay.
that is going to run our manifest file. So manifest file is um how you deploy your application on Kubernetes, right? So that's what we use to deploy our application in Kubernetes. You see, now that we run our Terraform script is creating our EKS cluster, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it is going to create the worker node. The worker node is the EC2 instance that our application is going to go in, right? So in EKS, there is cluster, there is worker node. Then in the worker node, there are things they call pods.
Yes.
In the pods is where you deploy your application, right? So the Terraform is creating the EKS cluster and the worker node, right?
Right.
These manifest files on line 14, 15, 16, those ones are going to now deploy the um those ones are going to deploy the application in the pod on the worker node. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Right. So for line 15, right? So
Okay.
open the Explorer thing. You know the Explorer thing I told you to open, right? Right there. You don't need to change those, right?
Okay.
Because those are referring to the file, the manifest file you want to run, right? So if you look line 15, right, we have a secret provider class .yaml, right? If you look in your deployment, there is a secret provider class YAML,
Yes.
right? So, but we will review this each one. So here, you need to update your secret here as well.
Okay.
So alias is just app secret. You can leave that as it is, right?
Okay.
So, you say what I did here is in this manifest file, right?
Yeah.
Whatever you need, let's say you need to update anything. I've added that note next to line 4 and 5 to tell you when you are updating these values in your manifest file, some of them need to match each other because that's
Okay.
how it references the right cluster and the right place it needs to deploy, right? So
Right.
let's start with line 4. Line 4, that is the name of your the metadata name, right? So that one is, you can call it AWS Secret Manager. That's fine. So that's not anything in AWS you need to do, but I'm just telling you what it needs to match. I'll show you what I mean by that. So you can see on line 4, right, where I
Mm-hmm.
have must match deployment, volume attribute, secret provider class, right?
Yeah.
So that means that you need to go in your deployment.yaml file, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And there's a part there that has volume. If you look on line 24,
I see it.
volume,
Mm-hmm.
secret provider class. So this value here needs to match the one in the other one, the where you were your secret provider class. So that's what I mean by that.
Okay.
You understand?
Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So go back to the secret provider class, right? So namespace, you can change your namespace to your application, so you can call it
Rent
rent
zone.
zone app, right? But whatever name you pick for your namespace, it needs to match in your deployment file and your service file. So you can see in your deployment file here on line 5,
Mm-hmm.
we have namespace.
Okay.
So that needs to match.
Then service.
So the service file is a different file. So there's a service file too. And there's a namespace there, right? Okay, perfect. Um, so let's go back to the secret provider because that's the one we're still working with. But we'll change it. And that's everything. We've pretty much we're done here. We've updated everything in secret provider. So close your secret provider class file.
Okay.
So let's work on the deployment next. So in the deployment one, let's start on line 4. So that's just the name of your deployment, and you can call it rent zone app deployment.
Okay.
So right there on line 5, we said the namespace must match whatever you have in the service, right? So
Yes.
we've updated already. So you
Correct.
can, yeah. So the label, you can call the label rent zone app, right? But then
Mm-hmm.
again, that label needs to match
Let's
the
selector.
service, the selector in the service. So
Okay.
go in the service file, the selector, yeah. So those are reference because even me, I forget. I don't.
Okay.
I still struggle with the making sure what needs to match. So that's why I add those notes there. to help me understand. So then let's go down. The replica is just how many you want to create. We'll leave that as one. The label again, the label must match your service selector. So work your way up. Go start at the top, the way we were going line for line. Then we'll just tackle it that way so we don't miss anything. So now we're on line 12.
Match levels. Okay, I see. It's the match level. I don't think this one.
Hmm?
16. Do I need to change that or no?
You see the note next to it. It needs to match your service
Service
selector,
selector. Okay, I
right?
see.
So you go in your service file, whatever you have as your selector,
Friend
that's what you
zone.
need to put it there.
Service should align with service port 8080. Service port. Correct. Must match the following container port.
Right.
Net.
So line 18, don't miss line 18, right? Service account name, right? So it can be anything, but since we are calling our application rent zone, so just change that one to rent zone.
Okay.
Right. All right.
I think it should be the next one.
Right. So that one will be your image, your container image that you want to use to deploy.
Is it gonna be latest as you have here or
So if you click on your image, yeah, then
okay, I
this is
see.
select latest there, right? That is the thing you want to copy.
Okay.
And on line 27, that's what I'm saying. Like try to go line for line so that way you don't miss anything. But line 27 is not going to cause any issue, but it's still good to
In the
properly
same
name
color.
everything so that way when you are looking at it, you know what it is.
Yeah.
And everything else is the same. Yeah. So we're done with your deployment file. So I believe, yeah, we've changed all the things we need to change. Now let's go to your service file. Let's see what else we need to change. So you see your service file. Let's start on line 3
Mm-hmm.
and 4, right? The service file name is so that's just the name. So we call it Nest app. So what do
Mm-hmm.
we do for the deployment? Call it rent zone app, rent zone, right? So go
Yeah.
in the click the deployment one. I think we call it deployment. So scroll up to where we have the name. So you see how we said rent zone app deployment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for the service one, just to be consistent, just name it rent zone app service.
Okay.
So that because we have rent zone app everywhere, right? So we
Sure.
want to make sure whatever don't need to be rent zone app, let's not make it that way. So that way we know whatever needs to match is matching.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's also easier for you to find it if you're looking for it, you know.
Exactly.
That
Exactly.
makes
Because if
sense.
you have multiple rent zones, it's like which one is what? Yeah.
That's
So
true.
that one is to be rent zone app. Yeah, we've already changed line 5. Everything else stays the same. And I think we are done. So there's one more file. You see that AWS auth?
AWS, where is it?
No, it's in your deployment
Okay.
manifest. There's AWS auth
I see it.
patch, right? So what this manifest file is used to do is, you see how you are using Terraform to create your EKS cluster, right?
Yeah.
Um, how do I explain this? So right now, Terraform is you are using Terraform to create your EKS cluster, and Terraform is using the Terraform user credential, right?
Right.
Whatever in Kubernetes in AWS, right? Whatever user creates the cluster is the only user that will be able to see what is in the cluster. So now
Mm.
that you are signed in as
Terraform
Toby,
user. Yeah, okay.
you signed in as Toby,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
You will not be able to see what is in the cluster. You understand?
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. Because whoever initially creates the cluster, that's how the security works. It denies you access, right?
Mhm.
But whoever creates the cluster will be able to have access. So let's say if you log in with Terraform user to the console, then that user will be able to see all the Kubernetes pods and things like that. But because you are logging as Toby, you won't be able to see what is on the cluster. You will see the cluster there, but you will even see, before we run this, let's see if the cluster is done, if it's done creating the cluster, so I can show you what I mean. So go back to your cluster, select that cluster, see it's active. So you see what I mean? Right there, down the second one, up there,
Second one. Up here.
right there. Right there, your current, you see where it's saying that?
Just not have access. I see it.
Your current IAM user doesn't have access. That's what that is doing,
Okay.
right? So this auth is how you give additional user within your AWS account access to the cluster.
Okay.
So so
Gotcha.
you see where we on line 8 where we have the ARN.
Yes.
So now you just all you need to do is use the ARN of Toby. So that way now because you are logging into the console, you'll be able to properly see the cluster.
So I had to go to
Go back to your IAM. Just open a new tab and you can stay in that cluster and open a new tab and
okay. Let me
and select that username, okay. and copy ARN up there, right, and replace it over here, right. Then change the name. You see your name, your username is Toby1, so that's what you want to change that to. All right, then the system, yeah, you want to leave it as that, and that's pretty much all the stuff. So I believe
go.
we've changed everything now. So let's go back in your deployment file. Deployment. Oh, have we been changing the SH1? I think you need to be changing the PS1 because you're using a Windows computer, right?
Yes.
So yeah, so that's the one you need to update because that's the one you are going to run.
Okay. So all the changes we did over here, I need to do it on the other side.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So go to, is your Terraform done running? Uh,
Yes, it's done.
no, I think you're in a different, click on Terraform. You see in your terminal up to the right side, you have different, um, in your terminal,
Okay.
right? The right side, right?
I see.
See
I
the
see.
Terraform one? Yeah, that's the one running the Terraform. I think you just open a new PowerShell. So you can click on the trash can next to it to close it, but don't close the Terraform one. Close that PowerShell one too. So we want to make sure your cluster is done. Yeah, close this. It's just
So I can,
um
yes.
so yeah, you can open it or side by side and just modify it. So you have when you click and drag it to the side, right? You want to
Mhm.
see, when you see that preview, then that's when you drop it. So keep moving it to the right. You'll see it soon. Keep moving it. It's because you are on the same file. There you go. Now drop it. There you go.
This is the one I have to use. So what's the name?
So I just include the script there for if someone is using Windows or Mac. So the script is there. So I want to just create it on just Windows and don't have the script for Mac.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So that's
Most
why I
of
have
us.
two different scripts there.
Which one do you prefer? The
Mac.
Win. I love Mac too.
Yeah,
I
Mac is better for cloud jobs,
yes.
right? For sure.
I
But
started go
go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead.
I started using Mac and I felt like most of my friends were telling me that once you start working, they usually give you a Windows or a Linux computer. So I was like, I need more experience using Windows, and I got myself a Windows.
Yeah, that's exactly how you should do it. It was the same way with me too. So I learned cloud work on Windows. Then when I got my job, they actually asked me which computer do I want, Windows or Mac.
Hmm.
And at that time I haven't done any cloud work on Mac. And I specifically requested a Mac computer just to challenge myself. And that was actually even my first time using Mac as well. So in the process, I ended up learning how to use Mac computer, and I also learned how to use Mac computers to do cloud work. And honestly, if I have to pick which computer to buy, I would
Yeah,
always buy Mac over a PC. But I still like PC, but for cloud work, I will strictly use Mac. So yeah, we don't need to change anything in this ones because all the commands that are there, they
hmm,
are whatever reference we need to anything, we've added as an environment variable, which
okay,
is the ones you are updating up there, right?
yeah,
So the reason why I made it this way is because every single time I give people script
mhm,
and I have in the script, because you know how you say the script is so much going on, but it's really not, right?
yeah,
And when I ask them to go change things in multiple places, they end up always messing up the script because they may accidentally change something that they didn't realize that they changed, right?
yeah.
So, uh, okay, so the whatever you are using for your password is not that's why it was taking too long, right? So it's saying like it doesn't meet the required whatever AWS needs you to put for your password.
Okay.
So you remember you have that in your secret. So you have to go update it.
Password in my
In
secret.
your secret is in your secret manager. That's where it is pulling your RDS password in AWS. Remember, you created your secret in AWS,
Okay, yeah.
right? So go to secret manager,
I got a little bit confused. Is it the name? Oh no.
the password. So click over there,
Oh, I remember.
retrieve secret value,
I think it's this one
right?
right here.
Yeah, it's saying that I think is it probably needs to be longer than what is it saying again? It's short. It needs to be 8 characters,
Sure.
right? So yeah, you can just add 4 to it and save and run it again.
It
That's why
won't take
you're hmm? It
it
won't
won't take
take
that.
it
Okay,
won't take
there you
that
go.
long too. Yeah, just
It just
probably.
continues from where I stopped, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's the
Yeah.
good thing about Terraform because you have your
Yeah.
Terraform
Mhm.
state file, right? It is able to keep track of what it has already created and it knows where it needs to continue.
And just apply when there are changes that needs to be made.
Yeah.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Innocent. How are you?
I think you left.
It left? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just us.
Oh, okay. I thought, yeah, I had it in my.
I think Dillian too wanted to be there. I don't know.
I don't know if Dylan is online. Let me message him.
Okay.
Yeah. I was wondering why your cluster was taking too long to create. I mean, it does take long to create the cluster, but it was taking longer than you. But already it showed you in the console that your cluster was already created, but then your Terraform was still running because that's the only thing that takes long. So it's that RDS one. So it should. The only thing I'm concerned about is when we looked at your EKS cluster, I saw one one red error thing, and I
Yeah,
want to review that to see. Um, and it might not be anything inside, so it's just insights. Upgrade insights. So for a pass four, a failed one. Is that clickable? Where do we even find that? Hold on, just give me a second. I'll be back.
okay.
Okay, you found it. It's one of the add-ons, right? Um, I think I have the add-on on the. So what it's saying, checks the version of install Kubernetes add-on to ensure they are compatible with the next versions of Kubernetes. So it's just one of the check. It fails. It failed. Um, Let me show you where I have that in the Kubernetes code. So go to that EKS called cluster file. Okay, done. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
So go to so this error is showing you is the add-on. It's not really a big deal,
Okay.
but we want to make sure we just handle it so that it can potentially cause issue later on, right?
Okay.
It's saying the add-on version compatibility, right? So click
Okay.
on that one, let's see. Error, Kubernetes version. So we just need one. Scroll up there. Oh, okay. Scroll down, scroll down. I think I see. EKS cluster, blah, blah, blah. No, scroll up. I'm just going to ask Claude. Let me take a screenshot of it. And worst case scenario, we can just remove that add-on thing from, because I
Is
know
it
it would deploy. I just added this add-on. We can even upgrade it here, right?
okay?
Okay, so EKS inside EKS add-on version compatibility, uh, add-ons, make sure right now Kubernetes version inside. Let me show you where I have it because I just add the add-ons yesterday when I was asking Claude stuff for some recommendation. It was like it was like it will recommend adding the add-on, so I did. So click on that EKS clusters, EKS cluster file .tf file in your Visual Studio Code. You can close the split screen because I think we are done changing all the things we need to change. Close the ones on the left side, or you can drag this one over there. Yeah, there you go. So if you scroll all the way down, yeah, see this is where I have the add-ons, right? So I don't know which one is causing the issue. Let me
Okay.
just ask Claude just a second.
Hey, Aziz, I'm gonna be muted for a minute. I'll be back.
Okay, sure.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Dylan. How are you? You in traffic? Yeah. Oben was asking of you. Hope all is well. I did send you a message on Slack. Oh, good. Good to hear that. Yeah, you're fine. Take your time. We're just working on this. I'm just showing him how to deploy this with Kubernetes, with Terraform. Hopefully it works. I think it should, because when I tested it, it worked on mine.
Hey, I'm back.
Okay. So I asked ChatGPT and it's saying to run this command here. So I know the issue is just I know the issue here is the AWS add-on version not just being compatible with the current Kubernetes version, the EKS version. So So here, we're gonna update the code here, but first I need to get the version that is compatible by running this command. So let me see. That's what I'm trying to do now. So this is my command. I'm just going to put this here.
What if I just click this upgrade version over here? It will not work.
It'll work, but since we're doing everything with Terraform, it's better to just do it that way with
Okay.
Terraform.
Okay.
Okay, so that command does work. Add-on, type networking, add-on version right here. Or cluster version is 1.2, 1.32. So this is the add-on version right here.
Can you stop sharing and share again? Because I cannot see. For
Oh, you
some
can.
reason, I'm seeing a double,
Never
triple
mind.
screen.
Oh, never mind. That's me. I'm actually sharing the wrong thing. Thanks for letting me know. I need to share my screen one. That's what I need to share. Sorry, everyone. I was sharing the wrong
That's
screen.
okay. Now I see it.
All right. Okay. So, so, this is what I was telling you. I So this is how sometimes when I have errors, this is how I ask ChatGPT, right? I
Mm-hmm.
got this error. I took a screenshot of it. We can't really see, but it was that where the error is popping up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I gave ChatGPT my code. I gave ChatGPT my code here.
Okay.
This is because I know where the error is coming from. It's from the add-on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the this is the section in my code, right? So I just copied my code and I pasted it here. And I didn't even say anything because for some of this thing, it's pretty straightforward. It knows what I'm trying to ask it, right?
Yeah.
So here it told me, pretty much looked at the image and it's saying that my add-on is not compatible with my current Kubernetes version, which is 1.32, right? So it found the add-on in my Terraform code and resolving the issue, it pretty much said, run this command. That would tell me the version of the add-on that I'm trying to add that is compatible with Kubernetes. Then I just need to update my code here and add add-on version and put whatever the correct version is. So that's what I'm doing. So here, I took that command here and I add the add-on name, ran it. So here it's telling me this is the add-on version, the correct add-on version for this one. For this one. Then I need to do the same thing for this one. I'm going to add the add-on name here. And I'm going to copy. Let me finish running this. I'm going to paste it here. Press enter. See, for the core DNS, this is the add-on version. What I don't know is if I need that EKS build 0.2 there, but I'm just going to add it like that.
Yeah, we can try like that, and if it works.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
Then I'll do the same thing for this cube proxy and run that command. Paste it here. Add-on version is this. So now I need to let me copy this. I need to open my right. So we need to go in this EKS cluster. Uh, and let me look at that. Uh, add-on name cluster, add-on name, add-on version. So here, first I'm just going to paste that down here now just to have it there. So yeah, I'm just gonna do enter, add-on version. This one is the Q proxy. With this, copy this, add-on version, add-on version. Oh, even Claude knew it. The Copilot knew it, so yeah, but I'll probably use Copilot for that. I just downloaded Copilot literally like yesterday, or maybe it's
Oh,
like the other day. So I'm still stuck on always going back to ChatGPT to ask it when I can just use it. Although
yeah.
from using it, I don't know, maybe I'm doing something wrong, but I still prefer, I feel like asking in the prompt online
Mm-hmm.
gives me better answers. Maybe it's because from subscribing, I have subscription to ChatGPT and Claude. I'm paying
Okay.
for the paid version, so maybe that's why I'm getting better answers. So, but for minor things like this, I think it should work. Uh, so I'm going to save this. So here, let me send. Do you want me to send you this entire code or just the add-on? The add-on.
I already have the add-ons. Copilot was able to generate some add-ons. I just need the exact version.
Okay, sure. Okay, let's
So
start here.
okay.
So for the VPC CNI,
Mm-hmm.
it will be this
1. I have 1.7 version 1.19
point
point
two.
two point two. Okay. EKS built one. Okay, done with that one.
So you got the
Version
core DNS. What about core DNS?
core DNS. I have a 1.8, which is wrong.
So it should be
Version
v1.11.4
11.4.
hyphen EKS build point two.
EKS build point two. Okay.
Right. And the last one, kube proxy,
Mm-hmm.
that should be v1.32.0
Mm-hmm.
EKS build point two.
Done.
Right. Let me stop sharing that. All right. You can share. Okay. Let me just, you want me to review it or you sure is you
I'm very sure
okay. All right, then just run Terraform init and run Terraform apply again. Yeah, see, it's going to update your version.
add-ons. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
for
one
that
too.
one and the other one.
The
Yeah.
last one. Okay. Let's see.
Okay. Okay. Add-on version not supported. Uh, the add-on specify the add-on specify version not supported. Let me check my thing. I'm pretty sure that's what I said. Which one is that? It's that's the kill proxy.
Yeah, the Q proxy.
So that one has v1
Mm-hmm.
320 hyphen EKS build point two.
I had a different one. Let me
Okay,
see.
try the one add-on version. Because you have it there, it's probably not gonna pop it up. So you remove what we had and just let let it pop whatever it thinks it is. Okay.
This is what it gave me.
Okay. Run it and let's see. Although the one I ran was AWS CLI, and AWS CLI was the one giving me that. So I don't think AWS CLI would be wrong.
Still did not work.
Yeah. It's just those add-on always cause issue all the time. So try updating it in the console. Let's just do it that way. But I mean, this I'll look into the Terraform part later. But uh, the CLI command I run, that was what the add-on version is. So, let me just even take a screenshot of this and see what it will say. Maybe we don't need to include those build part. Let me see.
Should I go ahead and upgrade it from here?
You can do it. Yeah, that's it. Won't have anything. Saying the error indicates that the kube proxy add-on updated is failing due to invalid parameter exception, specifically because the version specified is not supported. So why did he give me that? From the output, the EKS describe add-on. From the output of the EKS add-on, supported version of the group proxy is 1.32. Version 1.32 is this, right? So it's saying update your Terraform code to explicitly set add-on version to 1.32. did they update it? Did you when you pressed I wasn't looking.
No,
What happened?
it said it would take a couple of minutes to upgrade, and you cannot go back to the last version once you upgrade it.
Oh,
And
I see.
then so I did that, and it took me to this page where it reads about that. But I think it takes a while because it shows 38 minutes ago. Meanwhile, I just did it like 2 minutes ago. So it's probably still working in the back end.
Okay. Um, I mean, I don't think it's a big deal. Or the only thing other thing we can do is because when I did this the other time, I didn't put the add-on. So you can even remove it. So comment out that add-on for now.
Okay.
Because when we run our script, I don't think it's going to run into any issue, but I just wanted to make sure. So comment out line 83 to 105. So just select 83 to 105. Select 83 to 105. So
Select
that
it.
way, yeah,
Okay.
select all of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Then press Control forward slash. So select it again. Then you have to just click Control, the Control key, and forward slash at the same time. There you go.
Oh, that's good.
All right.
Run it again. Initialize.
Mm-hmm. So maybe if we don't include it, I think it is just going to probably pick whatever the default one is itself. All right.
Wait.
Yes.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
destroying the add-ons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the add-on.
I was like, why are you destroying my
Yeah. Okay. I removed it. Now refresh in your EKS thing. I mean, it's probably going to take a while before it populates, but say it's still updating. The cluster is still updating, so we'll have to wait a little bit. Click the refresh there in your dashboard. This circle thing. Yeah,
right
it's
here?
still updating it. Yeah. So let's just wait till the status is active. Even though Terraform is done, your cluster in the console is still updating. So, but when I did my testing, I didn't have the add-ons on it, so I don't, and it worked without the add-on.
What's
Uh,
the specific use of these add-ons?
um, I think the add-ons allows you to have different features that you can add to your Kubernetes cluster for different things you are trying to do, right?
Okay.
So you can say in the note, the VPC CNI add-on is for networking. And it says that that add-on enables the Kubernetes pod networking, enables Kubernetes pod networking within the cluster. So there's just you it's just like different things you can add to your Kubernetes cluster, but what you add is based on what you need to do. So let's say you need to, and I'm just using this like just a basic example. So let's say you need to add a secret to something, right?
Yeah.
And there's an add-on to do that. You add the add-on to your cluster, which allows you to be able to do that extra thing you need to do. But when I tested, I didn't have the add-on there. Uh, but I'll work on trying to get the proper version of it. Refresh again. Let me see. Let me see if your Kubernetes cluster is complete. It's probably gonna take
Still.
forever again.
What else do we have next?
So once your Kubernetes cluster is active, we just need to run that deployment script.
Okay.
Yeah.
The PS.1.
Mm-hmm.
PS1.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard what you were saying yesterday about the job. So have you looked for another job already?
No, I'm not gonna look for another job.
You had
But
two, right?
mm-hmm,
Is it remote or on site?
it's remote.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I think whatever I'm making on the other job, I can make it on my own online. So I'm not going. Plus, since I had my son, um I've been trying to offload some things to
Okay.
give me time to do things that means more to me, right?
Yeah.
So for me, doing multiple jobs just doesn't serve the purpose anymore, other than like making money, right?
Yeah.
Extra
Right.
money. But I feel like whatever extra money I can make on the job, I can make it on my own time, doing what I enjoy doing. Like make it on my own time and have fun making the money. So
True. True.
I'm not going to look for another one. Like for
I've.
example, when I had the job, I won't be able to like meet with you. Like I used to go live frequent before,
Mhm.
but that was taking too much of my time. So now I enjoy doing stuff like this more than
Okay.
than that. So I won't look for another one.
So, I'm out here interviewing. I'm still in the interview processes. So what would you recommend for somebody like me that's about to like getting my feet wet into it on my first day? Because I've gone through some interviews and gone to the last stage, and then one of them are willing to give me an offer letter, but I have to wait for about 2 weeks, and then it's on site. So I'm just wondering, what would I do to prepare myself for that kind of environment? Do I do more projects? Do I do more reading? Because I don't really know what I have to do. It's my first time.
Yeah. There isn't like anything. Okay, it's still showing that it don't matter. Don't worry about that. It won't have, I don't think it will affect what we are trying to do. So,
Okay.
um, I don't think um there's like really anything you can do to be proactive. The best thing you can do to be proactive for any situation where, let's say, if it is just not working between you and your job,
Yeah.
is for me, what always give me the confidence is I've always been proactive
Okay.
in my own self-development. Your self-development is in your hands, right?
Hmm.
And you learn more from doing what we are doing now than you will learn on the job. Forget all
Okay.
that stuff. They always try to tell you, oh yeah, the job you do this, you do that, you learn so much, you can climb up the ladder and all that stuff. If that's your go to, I'm just saying, speaking in general, if that's someone's go to climb up the ladder at the company, fine, then you can learn the ins and outs of the company. But if yours is not your go to climb up the ladder and play the politics game, right?
Yeah.
The best thing you can do is to take your self-development in your own hands. So how I've been doing that is I work on projects like this on weekends, at night. Any chance I get, I'm always working on projects, right?
Okay.
So if this is not the first time stuff like this have happened at my job, right?
Hmm.
But if I see that the company is moving in a different direction than I want from where I'm trying to go, then I just put in my letter and I just go look for a job that meets what I'm trying to do, right?
Hmm.
So I say the best way to prepare is always do what you are doing now. Continue to develop your skills and learn, because the more you know, the more valuable you will be, and the more confident you will have in your abilities to, you will know, even if this company don't, my skill sets don't mean nothing to them, there will be another place that I can go where I am much valuable. So
Yeah.
I think in the case of my company and I, that's just what is going on. What I didn't like is they try to tell me that my skill set is not valuable anywhere, and I had to cut him off there. I was like, look, that's your opinion. Um, I've worked on tons of different cloud projects. I know what I'm doing is needed. So don't come here and try to tell me it's not needed because you want me to do one specific thing that is only applicable to your company, and it's not something I can translate elsewhere if I go to a different job. So I'd say the first part is what I said. Continue to work on your own self-development. The
Okay.
second part is your outside of work,
Hmm.
find another way to make money. That is very important. Because for example, I'm leaving this job now. That is another. that's a source of income that's being taken away, right? And
Yeah.
that's something that always happen with 9 to 5. It's like when you lose your job, that's it. So, but the confidence that I have to even be able to make that decision is because other than the fact that I was saving already, I know I tell you guys about my different investment and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So from the options things that I've been doing and investing, I'm very confident that whatever salary that company is paying me, I can make it in a month doing options. So that would be like my own thing. It's just you going in, continue to develop your skill sets because that's where it starts. Then once you are on the job, you are doing whatever you need to do.
Hmm.
Um, don't just rely on that 9 to 5. Try to think of other ways of other things you can do to make money. You just always have to be like a step or two ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. But really not everyone is like that. There's a lot of cool places you can work. As long as you keep developing your skill sets, you'll be fine. Because nobody knows it all, right?
It looks
You
like,
keep
yeah, go
go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, it looks like it's going to be a sophisticated environment, and they're looking for cloud engineers, AWS cloud engineers slash DevOps engineers. So I think if it comes to the cloud, I can manage. But from the looks of things, they were trying to explain to me, since it requires a secret clearance,
Okay.
you have to be on site on the base, and
Mm-hmm.
no tech is allowed, like no smartwatches, phones,
Oh,
or
I see.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, I know Google is my best friend, ChatGPT and all that. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, if I need help, how would I get the help? And it's on site and you have your own cubicle and all that. I'm like, damn, it's gonna be rough for me. Huh?
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Because you have to look at it this way. You have coworkers that you're going to be working with, so you can always ask them for help if you need one.
Yeah.
Your company will have their own tools, even if they don't allow you to use the AI tools, they will have
Mm.
their own tools that you can learn. Um, Hello, just sorry, Open. I just wanted to respond. Hello, Chika. Uh, thank you. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. So always doing labs and practicing to stay active while still searching for a role. This has been a great learning experience. Thank you. So yes, I do plan on coming live more often throughout the week now. So you'll see me just be on the watch out. You'll see me on live working on different projects. So feel free, if I'm working on a project, feel free to ask me. If it's a project you guys are interested in, if you want to work on the project with me, let me know. We can work on the project together. So, but thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I appreciate your feedback. Yeah. Um, so yes, you can. You have people around you to help you out
Hmm.
and you'll be fine. Trust me, the first time I started cloud work, I was super, super nervous. The same exact question you just asked, and I had the same question. I said, how am I going to be able to do this? How am I? You are a human being, you are smart. That's one of the beauty about us. It's like we can always adapt as we go. So do the work, do what you need to do. So what you are doing now is your preparation. You are practicing, you are learning. When you
Okay.
start work, all these things will help you out. So that's why I don't leave my own self-development to what I do at work. I actually do a lot of my learning outside of work,
Hmm.
which has always helped me on my job. So that's what I would recommend. Okay. Um, so now let's run the deployment thing and see your
Okay.
deployment script. So I think we've changed everything. If all is well, it should work. So um, re right click on, but you have to open your directory into the deployments directory.
So close this one.
Yeah, you can close down
Okay. Mm.
and execute that deployment PS1.
Mm.
So you can do no dot forward slash and the name of the file. It should run it for you. So forward slash, and if you type deployment and just tab, here you go, and run it.
Run once.
So this is your thing. Yeah, just run. Yeah, click R to run. I guess it's first time you're executing a script. So in this script, part of what I do is like, okay,
Yeah.
so it's unable to.
Credentials.
So so it's trying to run. It's trying to update your config map, and uh it's your auth config, right? So it is saying error validating auth config.yaml. Failed to download. Open the server as export client to provide credential. Okay, so I think it's saying that, so we can add that to it, to that command. Add that false there. Uh,
Where on the deployment?
in the script. So in the, yeah, in the PS1. So go to line. So the one you see in the yellow, right? Applying. Um, but I
Yeah.
don't want us to do that because it's just applying the auth config, right? Okay, so, but that's just to allow you to see. So you see after that command on line 38, you can add that flag. Let's see what will happen.
Right here.
Yeah,
Dash dash validate. False.
validate false. But I don't know why that is. Let's say your auth config file again. I just want to make sure
Where is it?
your Kubernetes, your YAML is the first one.
This one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Big manufacturer.
Um, let me ask real quick, just a second, because that should work. Validating out config.yaml, error validating data, fail to download. The only thing I can see that would be wrong now is maybe because I have the, so from your Kubernetes thing, you've installed all the dependencies like you need, right? All the Kubernetes CLI and all that stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the only thing I can think of that can cause it. But let me ask real quick. Then we'll move on. Deployment, auth config. It's something we can do. Because I don't want to, but that auth config is just I'm running that so you can be able to see your pods. Because it since you are logging with Toby, you won't be able to see it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
so I want you to be able to see it. That's why. Run the following command to confirm. Oh, okay. You know what? Let me see that command again. That PS1. So validating queue. Okay, it did confirm. Okay, they updated, it did update your kube config, so you have that. Okay, so that part is done. Just a second. Let me see what we have here. Kube config, yeah, so get nodes. Okay, it's saying just put that validate false. So let's just use that and run it again. So the thing about this thing is, um, so now we've already run the updating the run it again, run that file again. I don't think it should cause any issue. Uh, so it's doing the updating your. Oh, you know what I think it is? What permission does your Terraform user have? Is it admin?
Yes, I think so. Let me double check. No,
It's
that's
just saying it
secrets.
doesn't have the exact info.
Console by users, permissions. It has administrator access. Do you
Okay.
want us to give a programmatic access? It doesn't matter,
Oh, no,
right?
no, no. It needs to be administrator.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me try one more thing, then we'll move on from there. Because when I ran it on mine, I didn't get that error. It should work. So, but I was running it on Mac. I haven't run this on Windows script. Um, let's say you encounter any authentication error, initialize, uh, AWS authentication. Okay, we did that. Hmm. Cluster and your region. So let me see. In yours, it has it did update your verifying credentials. Oh, why is yours using cloud project users? I think we have a typo somewhere. Right. You're not using cloud project user. I think you missed something in this script. So scroll up. Right. Let me check that stuff you sent to me because that cloud project user is not part of your stuff. It's not in your list of.
Where is the
Did you
cloud
did you
project user?
that's what I'm saying. Calling my so that's why I'm trying to pinpoint where it is getting that from on yours. Because when we run this script, right? So first it is verifying. That's why I have that stuff there to verify the credentials you are using. So scroll up again in here. No, in the terminal. Uh okay. So you can see there cloud project user. Well, it has your account ID, right? Isn't that your account ID? Yeah, that's your account ID, cloud project user. So where is that thing you sent to me? Did you delete it? The one that has your config stuff? The one you sent to me that has your .aws. Don't share it on the screen. You can resend it to me if you still have it. I just want to see where that cloud project user is coming from. Or in your users, do you have any user there named cloud project users? In this user in your management console? Yes, you do. So that's the one being used, right? Let's see what permission that one has. Administrator access. So I think even though it has administrator access, it still probably needs some type of EKS permission. Oh, that's weird. Okay, um you have access to that your AWS thing, right? So I think what is happening is that, oh, I think I know the issue. Um remember when I was saying that your Kubernetes thing, whatever user we use to create Kubernetes, that's the user that would have access to the cluster, right? You might be on mute. I can't hear you.
Yes.
So now we use but in your project, we use the Terraform user, right?
Right.
So what I want you to do is do AWS configure, right? So you can stop sharing, do AWS configure,
Mm-hmm.
and I want you to use um, that Terraform.
Cloud project. You want the Terraform?
Yeah, right. So the Terraform users access key and secret access key. So type AWS configure, press
Mm-hmm.
enter.
Okay.
Then when it asks you for the access key and secret access key, use the one for the Terraform cloud project. No,
Okay.
no, 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 no. Use the one for the Terraform user. You understand? If I
Okay.
had that, oh, okay, you send it to me. I'll help you figure it right now, right?
Yeah, I
So
see.
you see how you have the default, right?
I see it.
Right? The default is the same credential. So on your computer, you have different different access key and secret access key configured, right?
Yes.
But what I'm thinking is whatever access key you've configured under the default, that is for that cloud project user. You understand?
Okay.
So when we execute the script and we don't specify a user,
Mm-hmm.
it is going to use your default one. You understand
Got
what I
it.
mean? So
Yeah, I understand.
now run AWS configure, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When it asks you for the access key, use the access key for the Terraform user and the secret access key for the Terraform user. So it will be the one that ends in TFN and the one that ends in H8DR. You understand what I mean?
Yes.
Okay. So once you've done that, you run your region, uh, then you can share your screen back. No, it's still showing. Sorry. Clear your screen. You can run clear. All right. Now run that script again. Uh, see, now it's working. So it's creating your namespace. It's installing the secret driver. You understand what the issue was, right?
Yes, I do. I it's that so my IAM principal does not have access to the Kubernetes, but so I kind of explaining to you is a little bit different, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
So even
So
though this my account have doesn't have access to it, it's that policy the policy is the only one that has access to it.
yeah, the user that created the cluster is the only one that have access to it, and that is your Terraform user, right?
So in this situation, if you want to have other users to have access to it, you just need to add their credential. No, wait, how would
You
you
need
add it?
you need to add them to your config, your this auth the auth config thing,
Okay, okay,
right? That auth your auth config YAML, right? You need to just go down and add another user's ARN, then they will have
okay.
access to it.
So another map user and then the same thing
Exactly.
of this one.
So
Okay,
you see
makes
now
sense.
if you refresh in this your ECS console, EKX console, you should have
Hmm.
access now.
Okay, it has
See,
gone.
it went away. You see that it went away right now, and you
Yeah,
have access now. Exactly. So
that's a very good troubleshooting thing to say when you're during an interview. They ask you what kind of issues have you encountered
exactly.
using Terraform. Yeah, I'll write that down. That would be good.
Yeah, exactly. So click in that your script thing running. It's still running your secret driver. Um, I don't know. Yeah, click in that terminal and press enter. Let's see. Okay, it's still running. Press
Yeah,
enter. It's still running. Yeah.
still running.
What's going on, AZ?
Hi, Dylan. How are you?
I finally made it, man. I've been having problems with my internet. I have the mobile hotspot, and I think it done went out on me. So, but I was paying attention and watching everything y'all got going on. Um, if you want, you can look at my code and how I configured it. I I thought I was looking at it the right thing, but for as you had it right for as his the name he was using, because you can't use the cloud. You got to use the Terraform use. So that's correct.
Yeah. Yeah, it's working now. So his code is running. We just need to this CIS driver just needs to finish running. So I don't know. Maybe this probably because it's the first time you because it doesn't take this long when it runs on mine. So
Right.
but it's so it's just taking time to run. So let's see. Uh wait. After that is run. After that has run, it should pretty much continue.
Man, man, this we getting a treat tonight, man. We got AZ on a Sunday. That's what I'm talking about. On a Sunday, man, we got a treat tonight, man. What I'm
Uh,
talking about.
yeah, I really
uh,
want to be online more. I really enjoy being online. So
yeah, yeah. You didn't get cussed out by none of your people that emailed you, because you get those, my guy.
yeah, no one. Hopefully, I don't get that type of person anymore. That's just it. When you work, do stuff, and you get exposed to people online, sometimes you'll meet people with different personalities. So
Right, right,
yeah,
right, right. Man, I don't think people understand, man. Your time is very, very valuable. That's why I say, man, we getting a treat tonight. You know what I mean? So that's cool. I do have on my GitHub action. It didn't build my image, and I ain't really had time to mess with it,
mm-hmm.
because what I was gonna do is I was gonna delete the AMI. Um, I was going to. This is my plan. What I was going to delete the AMI. I was going to delete the EC2, reconfigure the EC2, do the AMI just to get my image. In my console, it gave me Rent Zone app, but when I click on the Rent Zone app, I don't see the image. I don't see the image. That's what my problem that I was having.
Okay.
But I wound up going ahead and built everything. I just didn't do the
Okay.
destroy part towards the end part, because
All right.
I didn't see where I was going wrong at yet.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, but while y'all doing that, I'm gonna go ahead on and log into my console so we can get that up and running.
okay. So I'm not sure why that CIS driver. Let me look at the command because that command works, right? So it might just be something specific to your
Let me run it again and see. It says
yeah
timeout.
yeah. So because it might be I don't know why it's chiming out. Let me see that
There we
CIS driver. Says timeout after 90 seconds. Right. Uh, okay. So cube install CIS driver cube system. I think is uh, let me just a second. Let me where was that first one you because on my that does run, it does install it because you just install you need to install that and it does run perfectly. So if you're getting timer, are you sure you don't have any type of firewall that may be blocking it? Because sometimes when you're trying to install stuff like that.
I don't think so.
Okay. Okay. So I think it says you have to delete the first the existing one. Uh, so it says run this command. We'll delete the one you try to install first, then we'll try again. Run this command. I'll send it to you on Slack. Run this command first, and
This one, right?
let me see. I sent 3 commands to you. Run all 3 of them. Yeah, run that one first. Yeah. Maybe it hasn't installed it yet. Um, okay, uninstall secret. I need to open that script so I can see what is in it. Deployment script. I think we're using the wrong namespace. Let me just a second. Okay, so the Helm uninstall. Okay, try this. I'll send you the comment. If we can get it done today, we can always. But I know that command works. So the not being able to install it and timing out, um I don't know if that is okay. Okay, that ran successfully. Then press enter. Then we are trying to install it again. What? To the person who the time from I think it has to do with your own network or something. So let me ask now. Because it shouldn't time out. The timeout just means that it's some type of network issue. I could be causing the time I went stolen. Oh, sorry. I was typing it to you instead of typing it in. Don't cancel it. Why'd you cancel it?
Taking too long, so I don't know. It was taking too long.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know if it was working or not, so I had to.
Okay. Timeout during CI installation can occur for several reasons. Let's investigate. Go in your EKS cluster. Let me see something. Go in your EKS cluster. In here. Yeah. And search your cluster. Select compute. And so you have your nodes there. Select your node name, the one up above. Scroll down. Scroll down. Okay, so there's no the secret CIS thing there. You see how it's pending?
Oh, right
It's
here.
up. Yeah. So that's the one we click on it. Let's go in it and let's see.
Sandbox.
Let me see. Let me just take that. Yeah, we can probably just try it again later. But
Okay.
the issue is that there are repeated error failing in the pods.
Okay,
Okay.
we can give it a night maybe and try it another time. I'll just leave
Yeah.
everything like that.
No, you
Um,
delete it because we created with Terraform. We can always start back.
just destroy, right?
Yeah. So destroy your Terraform environment.
Okay.
But I'll run it again on mice tonight. Then if I don't run into any error, then it has to do with your side. So let me run it. Like I said, the script, I only ran it on the Mac version of it. I haven't run the Windows version of it.
Okay.
So let me run it, then we can check it back. So yeah, you don't need to do anything here on that one. So on in your Terraform directory, just run Terraform destroy. That will delete
Okay.
everything. And also it could be that add-on issue too, because that error thing that was there. So that's
Yeah.
why I was trying to resolve that error before we start running the deployment thing, because it could be that as well. Yeah, just yes. Okay. And that should clean up everything. So it should be good. Yeah, I'm almost done. That's all.
Thank you very much, Aziz,
You're
for the
welcome.
advice.
You're welcome. So
Showing up
you're
today.
welcome. I will run the script on Windows.
Okay.
Then if there's anything that I get, I'll let you know.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah. But we almost done. We just need to run that deployment script and it needs to work, right?
Okay.
So the next time we come, I don't have to spend a lot of time explaining some of this stuff to you. So
Yeah.
the next time we're just going to apply, maybe before you even come join the meeting, apply the Terraform stuff, then we just run the deployment. Or
Okay.
if my deployment script, if I change anything in it that works, I'll send the updated version to you so you can just run it on your end and let me know.
All right. All right.
All right, cool. All right. Thank you, man.
No, thank you.
All
We'll
right.
see you
I'll speak
next
to you
time.
soon. All right,
All
bye.
right. Mhm.
Dylan, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
So yeah, what did you say you need help with?
This right here. I put it in Claude, but I'm gonna show you what my GitHub action is saying. Is right here. A GLIBC. I think is that version is out.
So
It's
when
not.
you built your image, did you use Amazon Linux 2023 or Linux 2?
When I built my AMI,
Yeah.
2.
Oh, that's the issue. Sorry. I know I said in the video use 2, but the guy that created this action,
Mm-hmm.
he updated it. So now you need to build it on the 2023.
Okay.
So
Okay.
so delete. So what you are going to do is delete that AMI, right?
All right.
Then you don't have to do it now, but um what you are going to do is, you know, the whole process where you launch your EC2 instance, you SSH into it, and you run that
Mm-hmm.
command, that Docker command. Then you, after you've done that, then you build your AMI, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to redo that process.
Okay. All right. All
But
right. Cool.
but whatever instance you use to build, run the Docker build and all that stuff, make sure it's the 2023, not
Not the
Linux
2.
2.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
that's
Cool.
the issue.
All right. Cool. 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 All right. Well, shit. I'm gonna do that tonight. If you want, we can do it now. If you got something to do, I mean,
Yeah, my
it
wife
don't
just
matter.
checked on me because I've been online for like the past 3 hours. And
All right.
I got baby duties. So
Okay. Okay. You got
and to be
extra free
honest though,
time, man.
I haven't eaten today at all. I just ordered some food on Uber Eats, so I'm just waiting for it to get here.
Okay,
So
all right, all right. Well,
um
you go ahead on and eat, my guy, and I appreciate you for that knowledge. I don't know if you're gonna be coming on Wednesday, you know.
I want to. I want to.
Yeah. Well, if you come on, you send it out in the Slack. I'll let people know, man. It
Yeah,
wouldn't be a
I want
problem.
to. So I'll be online. I'll be online more now.
Okay.
Yes. So yes, Jeffrey. Yes, Mac always runs smoothly. Sometimes Windows you run into stuff, especially with PowerShell. Um, I and also, but what I should have done is, before we start the meeting, I should have run the script, because I created two versions of the script. I was mostly doing all the work on Mac, and I was converting whatever I was getting on Mac to Windows. So I haven't tested the Windows one. The issue might be in the command, which I don't think so. Or it might be somewhere. So I'm going to test it on my Windows computer tonight. If I run into any issue, then I'll be able to troubleshoot where the issue is coming from. So, but I should have tested the script first. But I was confident that the script worked, and it would work. So from the network issue, it seems like what I'm suspecting is because we tried to do the add-on and we're already getting some error in the cluster. I really think that's what's causing the issue. Um, but which is another reason why I don't really like Kubernetes, because you run into so much problem trying to deploy stuff to the cluster. So, but I'll test it, and I should get back to him tomorrow. Um, yeah, Dylan. So yeah, so I want to be on. I'm actually done my office now. I'll send a picture of my office, what it looks like now to you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
office, making it look nice. So that way, for sure, I'll be online. For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Uh, for this part, I could just run Terraform destroy all
Destroy,
the
yeah, destroy
resources.
everything,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
Then go and rebuild. But you know the EC2 instance we launched that you were using to rebuild your AMI,
Right.
you haven't got to the job where we used to terminate that EC2 instance. So first you have to go in your management console and manually terminate that EC2 instance yourself.
I just stopped it. That's all I did. I just
Or it
stopped
still
because I
wouldn't
didn't want.
work. You have to terminate it, because
Hey,
it is in your VPC, right? And you use Terraform to create that VPC. So if you are trying to delete Terraform is trying to delete the resource, it is going to fail, because this EC2 instance is not part of the configuration. So terminate this EC2 instance. Eventually, when you get to the end of the project, there is a job there that would delete it for you. But for now, you have to do it manually if you
right.
run into any error.
Okay. All right. Just
So
delete this.
terminate it, then run that your deployment Terraform destroy, then rebuild your image again, rebuild your AMI using Linux 2023. Everything should work.
Okay. All
All
right.
right. All right, cool. Well, I'll definitely speak to you during the week. So, because I'll be back online.
Okay. Doing with my job and everything. Um, I, I'm probably gonna start on the Ansible because I'm kind of confident this pipeline gonna work, but you never know. I put it in I put it in a chat and see what we get.
Yeah, but it'll
So
work. I promise you. Because people have had the same issue that I've helped them resolve, and that was how I will resolve it. So it'll work.
okay, all
Yeah.
right. Well,
Okay.
you get something to eat. I guess we'll talk to you during the week, my guy.
All right. Thank you, Dylan. Have a good
No
one, man.
problem. Same
All
to
right.
you.